Hey, welcome everybody to the Win Government Contract podcast. And we've got our guests here and myself. We are going live. If you're joining us online, welcome. If you're joining us on a recorded session, welcome also. And so in this podcast, we talk about government contracting. We talk about real situation, about what's happening in the government world, and we gonna talk about real situations, practical situations that's happening with our two entrepreneurs. We got Vicky and we got Kenneth, and we're gonna be talking about what's happening with their business. We've been, this is, every week we build upon what we covered previous weeks, and this is your chance as part of the audience to see this here with us in terms of what's happening in their journey. But you as an entrepreneur, you're also on this journey as well, on your own journey. And so later on in the episode, the first part of the episode, we're talking about specific companies, Vicky and Kenneth's company. But later on, we want you to share about your business. We want you to share about, ask any questions that you may have as well, because this is a time where you can get some help as it relates to the government contracting market. There's no hype about this here. It's all about real things that's happening. Talk about practical things that's happening. That's really what this is about. And then if you have questions outside of what we covered today, that's fine as well. We'll address some of those questions later on in the show as well. So with that, our main topic for today is we're going to talk about branding. We'll do a little review of business cards, a little review of capability statement, a little bit review of capability websites. We're going to address capability videos also, and then we'll cover other topics as well. But those are the key things we're going to be covering today. So with that, I'm going to turn over to our two entrepreneurs that join us here. We've got Kenneth Davis and we've got Vicky Vang. And so Ken, can you share a little bit, just a quick 30 seconds to 1 minute, a little about your business and where you are in your government contracting journey?
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. So, again, name's Kenneth Davis. Started a company called ASI Solutions. We're a goods provider to the government, state, local, federal, uh, in the development stage. So, working on websites, working on applications for certifications, and just excited about this process, man. Someone had to remind me a couple of days ago that oftentimes we get caught up in looking at the end goal, what we're after. And they were like, man, you got to stop and enjoy the journey, man. This is a process. Enjoy it. So that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, well, hey, that's a very good tip there. It's not the end itself, it's the journey that you have to enjoy. So I appreciate you sharing that. So Vicky, share a little about your business and where you are in the process.
My business is a consulting business in business or in management. And so this process has been an eye-opener for me. Just like Kenneth, still in the starting stages. Finished revamping my logo and business card as well as the website. And that's completed my capability statement. So that's pretty much where I'm at.
Okay. All right. So we'll get a chance to review some of that directly. And so you'll get a chance to do that as well. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna pull up the documents here, and then and we'll go into the content for this week here. So we've been talking about a few things these last few weeks, and so I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So this is the Gov Fast Track software, and if you're not familiar with this tool here, let me maximize this here. So this is a tool that we're using to track, and so this is the blueprint to government contracts itself. And so in this here, this is your blueprint. We've already laid out all the things you need to do, and step by step where you need to go. What we're addressing your brand at this time here. And so your brand has to do with creating an image that's going to be represent $1 million company. So we've been talking about K-bill statement, logos and so forth. And we're going to do a little website review this week. And so who wants to go first, Vicky and Kenneth? Um, Vicky, you said that your website is uh, further along. Is the link currently active? And can we go there? Or is there a staging site at this point?
It's currently active. I tried going under www.alphapromn.com, and sometimes it gets you there and sometimes it doesn't. So
Okay, alphapro.mn, right? So it's not taking me there. Let me do it again.
you might have to do the HTTPS.
Yeah, I did that. Let me take out the S, because sometime until you have a security SSL certificate on there. alphapromn.com, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so it's not loading at this time here. So we'll review this here when it does load up. Kenneth, how far are you with your website?
We're sending you a link that you access the staging.
Okay, so what we're doing that here, I'm gonna review the CAPE statement from Kenneth. Okay, so it's a work in progress. I see it. So you got an image of a data center here. We're still waiting on your logo, so that's good. And then founded in 2009, Ascending Suns Inc., doing business as ASI Solution, is a minority-owned business, unique position for military veteran and seasoned IT professionals. Oh, of military veterans. Okay, I like that. Because 55 to 60% of federal spending is tied to DoD. So anytime you have, you're talking about veterans, it's uniquely positioned for that there. So okay, so you got your services. You got some of your past performance logo, bonded, insured, 30 years track record, CEO. And this is a little tricky here. If you want to represent that you're a larger company, instead of using your CEO title, you might use capture manager. If you want if you want them to feel that they're dealing with directly with the CEO, feel free to use your CEO title. So it depends on the image you want to create. When somebody receives this here, they're thinking, oh, I'm dealing with Candace is the primary. You can call yourself uh, the government or the federal director, federal contracts director. You can use your title as capture manager, or you can go with CEO. So sometimes it's just however you want to adjust. It just depends on you can change your title as you need to here.
Oh, no, that makes sense because if most often, depending on the size of the company, the CEO is not communicating with certain departments. So,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So it's strategic, right? You want to say, hey, I want to look bigger than real, then use your title as a capture manager. If you want to say, hey, you're dealing with the decision maker, then use your title CEO. In different situations, you might change it accordingly. So as it relates to your NAICS code here, what I would do is I would make it all one line. You see how this technical services flow into the second line? I would say shorten this here. So instead of all other professional, scientific, and technical services, you could just call all others or all other technical services, and that's totally fine because the
Gotcha.
NAICS is really what you're going after. The description you don't have to include everything in the description. because what this does is I'm skimming through all the NAICS code, and then I get into this row here. It throws off the symmetry. It throws off the eye. Think of the viewer, right? The person who's reviewing this here, it throws them off here. Same thing with this here. So I would shorten this here. So this would be just professional development or professional training, and that's all you need to do for this 611-430 here.
Okay, sounds good. What about the color concept? Once you click on the link for my website, you'll see the logo, and that's what I'm not the most proficient in PowerPoint. I will say that. Usually I use another software, someone else does it, but changing the color concept to kind of match my logo. I want some feedback on that as well.
Yeah, so let's go to your website. So your logo is so you have 3 primary color based upon your logo here. So you get almost a dark navy blue, a lighter blue, and then a greenish, almost kind of like a, not quite aqua, but a greenish logo here. So yes, you want to weave this here back into your capability statement. And so the way you do that is the banner. I'll give you a little bit more feedback on the banner. You want to include a person in the banner. A person is, yes, you have the technical stuff back here, but including a person will always be better because people connect with people more so than with things. So definitely include a person in this image here. And then instead of the gold color here, you can use the green color for this here. And so you can accent it with the green color that's part of your logo instead of the gold color itself. And then let me give you a little feedback on your logo. Explain to me the concept of your logo here. So give me a explanation of how you chose this logo concept.
So I did a survey. I created like maybe 10 different logos. And so I sent them out to other friends, associates, people that run businesses. And I kind of polled everyone, which logo grabs your attention? Which one do you like? And everyone kind of gravitated towards this. The more I looked at it, I looked at this as more of a layered situation. You know what I mean? Where with the company, my initial focus was just goods. I'm selling IT goods and peripherals, things of that nature. But the more I researched, the more I started looking at market research, things of that nature, started realizing that, yeah, you can start out and go that way. And I'm going to be completely honest, there's more money in service. So how about do both? How about just be a solutions company? How about you provide an array of things, which the more I thought about that and looked at the logo, it's kind of a layered process, whether it's support and training, whether it's goods, or whether it's actually performing a service. So that's kind of how I related it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the name is perfect, right? ASI Solutions, because you're keeping the name neutral and broad enough to do many things, whether it's product, services, perfect. So the name is fine. The logo, I don't know how it ties back to the name. Mm-hmm. So let me kind of give you an example of a logo that I've been working with a lady in terms of helping her get her logo done. So what we do is we use a service called 48 Hours Logo. And for $200, she received 442 logo concepts. So that's like 20 cents a logo or something like that, or 50 cents a logo in terms of design, right? And then one of these here, she will choose one, and the person will receive the $200 when she choose that company. So if you come in here, you got lots and lots of logo concept. Now, the premise of it is, even though her company is called Pilosity, she's using the P as the main icon. So whereas we come in here, this icon here, I can't relate this icon back to your company name or to your brand itself. And again, it doesn't have to, but to create a brand, when I see this logo, I'm not thinking ASI Solutions.
Okay.
And so what we did with her was, her company is called Pilosity, and I say, hey, you can do the letters, the Pilosity as the logo, but you want your icon to, when people see the icon, they think back to this here. And so if we look through here, they gave her a lot of different logo concept, lots of different variation of the P itself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come in here, you see this is a unique P, right? It's a P that takes you to where you want to go, and you come, and lots of different P variations in here. Now she has a whole bunch to choose from. And so I would recommend using either Fiverr. Fiverr would give you about 2 or 3 designs, but 48 Hours Logo, it's a competition between probably about 6 or 7 different designers, and you have lots to choose from. 442 designs to choose from.
So you tell me this now after I paid for this logo. I'm joking, but I get what you're saying, and I'll rehash it. I mean, I know it's feedback. And so I'll look at some options.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? So doesn't matter where you are, your journey. We'll talk about. In fact, because you were off last week through family emergency, we cover this a little bit last week, and so you missed out on what we covered a little bit about the logo last week there. But nonetheless, these are great resources to address.
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying that with your logo, you want to make sure that your logo is branded or created in such a way that it ties into the company. And if someone, let's say, doesn't remember the name, if they see the logo, it's going to trigger the name.
Correct.
It has to go back. Gotcha.
Yes. Right. And let me give you another example of a logo. So there was a company, and we were doing the logo, and you see this American Airlines, you got the red and the blue. This is the logo for American Airlines, and this is the logo for one of the companies that I'm helping out with. And oops, not that one. So this is their logo down here. Their logo was this A. It's a unique A, right? The company is called Almost. It's a unique A. But when they first gave me the logo, the colors was red and blue. And even though the logo is completely different, the bottom here was red and the top was blue. And the first thing I saw was, I said, that's a American airline logo. Even though I don't remember I don't even remember the logo. And then we pulled up American Airlines logo and said, it's red and blue. That's why it created this image, because the branding was so strong. The red and the blue in the A reminded me. And so they decided to go with black and red. So now I'm not thinking American Airlines. So for their logo, right? You got a black and a red, 2 arms supporting each other. That looks like an A. And so you see the A in here, but then they're helping you create a mountaintop. So they want to take you to the top of to the mountaintop. They want to take you. You need each other when my organization and your organization, if we're supporting you together, we stand stronger together, and we achieve our summit. We achieve the peak. That's really what they're communicating with this logo concept here. So when you're thinking logos with, I like this here, hidden meanings. Right. So let's look at Tostitos a little bit. What do you guys see in Tostitos? Tell me what you see.
I see 2 people sharing a tortilla or a bowl of salsa.
Yep, they got 2 people. They're happy people because they're like celebrating. They both share a chip. They're dipping into some salsa, right? But if you zoom out, you don't really see it. But if you zoom in, you see it, right? You look at Baskin Robbins. What do you see in Baskin Robbins?
I see 31 flavors within the B and the R. Okay.
Right? The B and the R also forms 31 flavors, right? Because that's really what they're branding. Um, and then if you look at FedEx, right? You guys see the arrow here? FedEx, we get it there for you, right? And if there's an arrow that it gets you there. If you look at the, let me pull up this here. If we look at the Amazon logo, what do you see in the Amazon logo? What do you see here, Vicky? I think
I see it.
Looks like
okay. Go ahead, then.
arrow.
What is that, Vicky?
Looks like an arrow.
Okay.
Oh,
There is an arrow. And where does the arrow start and where does it end?
it starts at the A and ends at the Z.
That's hidden message, right? So one, it's an arrow. It says we do everything from A to Z. And that's really what Amazon does. I mean, if you're looking for computers, they sell computer. If you're looking for t-shirt, they sell t-shirt. And so they do everything from A to Z because it's really a hidden message here. But it's also a kind of like a grin, right? A smile that when you shop with Amazon, you're going to be happy. We're going to give you pricing. We're going to deliver overnight. In fact, you get same day delivery on certain products. And so they're making you happy. They do everything from A to Z. So there's a lot of different thoughts that goes into these concepts here. Even our company, GovGenie, right? Let me go to GovGenie. Even our logo itself, if you look at the GovGenie logo, you guys see the hidden genie in here in the G? Right? So the G itself is almost like a genie sitting crossing his leg, and this is the little ponytail or the hair sticking out of the and so we went through lots and lots of different ideation to come up with this logo here. Yes, it's a stylized G for GovGenie, but we didn't want it to look like a traditional genie. We went through a process of coming up with a logo that's going to have some that's obvious, but not too obvious. And sometimes a little of mystery, a little subtlety is more important than being so overtly obvious, right? So let me give you a few examples. So this, I'm gonna use blockchain chamber. I don't know if you guys know that I'm one of the co-founders of the blockchain chamber of commerce. So we gave them some concept, and we said, hey, what we want is we want a logo concept that has some mystery to it, but also is that represents the BCC, blockchain chamber. So lots of concept, right? So this is very literal, right? BCC. Some of these are very literal, and BCC here. And so you got some blocks, some chains coming together, and then you got BCC here, right? Lots of logo concept. Now this is kind of interesting. You got the B, and then you got the B here, and then you got the C and the C, right? So you got two C's forming a B, forming more of a square concept here. Here you got the B, and they're kind of like a ring, right? Because blockchain is about a block of data connected to another block of data, and then you got the two C's interconnected here. So lots of different concepts. This is probably one that I really like here. You got the two social discussion bubble forming a B, the two partially social discussion bubble forming a two C's here, interlinking together, forming the icon itself. But the ultimate logo that we went with is we went with this here, this logo here. So you have a B, this here and this here forms a B, and then this is a C here, and then you got a C here, all forming a interlinking chain. And so this is the logo that was the ultimate chosen one here, the Blockchain Chamber of Commerce, BCC. So the B is not very obvious. The C's are not obvious. The links are obvious, but if you look at it, you start to say, oh yeah, I see the B, I see the C and the C. And sometimes it doesn't have to be very obvious, right? It could be a little bit more mysterious. Like this one is the same concept, but it opens it up a little bit more so you can see the C a little bit better. But take some time, and if you want to rework your logo, again, I'm just here to provide you feedback. You're the entrepreneur. You go with what you feel you're most comfortable with. But I am here to give you feedback on.
No, I appreciate it. And in kind of, I think one of the courses, you were talking about branding, and so I stumbled upon some information that talked about the psychology of colors and why certain corporations choose certain colors or choose certain wordings, and logos was a part of that whole process. I think I was just kind of rushing, and I'm continually reminded that this is a strategic process that you take intentional steps. Everything is intentional here, and so that's what I'm getting from the response as well.
Yes, because your logo is going to represent your brand, if not for the life of the company, right? And sometimes people change logos along the way, but this will be the main icon that's going to represent your brand forever if you don't change it later. So you want to invest the amount of time, the amount of money, if to do the right concept that you're going to say you're going to be happy with long term. And again, nothing wrong with your logo. I like the concept. I like the simplicity of it, but this, when I see this logo, I see three swooshes here. I see that there's a circle here and a bigger circle. I can say that we are the hidden team behind you're the bigger circle, and then each slash here, I can say this is our philosophy 1, philosophy 2, philosophy 3, or this is our business approach 1, our business approach 2, business approach 3. And then you can make this 2 down here more like a A. So this can be that. But again, it's a little bit harder to connect it back to ASI. And you can, because you're using ASI, you can use the A as a letter, or you can use the ASI as the icon. Turn that into an icon somehow, some way, kind of like AT&T.
Yeah.
They use all 3 letters, right? So they use all T letters, and they kind of use the worldwide connection, and so AT&T, because they have but they're a big brand, and to take a brand that is when you're a small business using the icon like this, if I see this icon by itself, I don't always think of AT&T. When I see AT&T, I always see the icon and I see the letters. And but they've been around for a long time. They were around before logos were really around, right?
Right. No, but I appreciated it. And you're right. I will admit, not to say I was cheating, I was just moving fast, man. There's so many moving pieces here, and I'm like, I gotta hurry up and get my website up. I have to hurry up and do this and do that. And then I find myself in a position where your CAPE statement isn't complete. For the most part, it is. It's about 90% complete, but there's some cleanup that needs to be done. And your image, your banner, and your logo is not even on here. The colors don't even match. And then the website, this guy's taking forever, so maybe this was the subtle reminder or intentional reminder I needed to kind of take your time, go back to the drawing board. Let's do it right the first time. You know what I mean?
Yes. So let me give you an example, right? I think AYJ Entertainment is on, and he asked a question. Hey, we already have a trademark brand. What do we need to think through as it relates to the government? So I'm going to give you guys a real case study here. So let's talk about a case study for a company. This company is called Delerme, and I work with them in terms of rebranding them for the government market. So the original company is called Delerme CPA. So if you come to this here, they're not a big company, but they're doing a few $1 million a year. They're established with lots of commercial clients, lots of customers. This is their logo, Delerme CPA. This is their logo. Nothing's unique about the logo. It's just really. I asked him what the meanings are. He just said, I just like this icon, and I chose it. There's really no meaning behind all of these things here. And I said, so in coaching him and guiding him in terms of rebranding and repositioning his business for the government, I said, let's not disrupt your current audience, your current client base, and let's reposition you totally different for the government market. So this is his current website as it relates to his current clients, commercial clients, and residential clients, and so forth. This is his new brand as it relates to the government. So let's look at that. So we created a DBA called Delerme Group. And Delerme CPA is his current company. All his clients go to here. His government clients, as we're marketing his business to the government market, now he has a completely different brand in the government market. He's no longer Delerme CPA. He's Delerme Group. And you see now he's got the D. It still keeps a square concept a little bit of what he currently has, but now there's a D that is in the logo now. And so you get the Delerme out of the logo concept, but he's DBA as a Delerme Group. Now, CPA accounting, like if you come to his website, right here, it talks about accounting, taxes. If you come to his new site, and in fact, we go to all his services, you see that he's repositioned himself to do more than just taxes in accounting. So you come in here, you see that he does audits, financial forensic, financial statement reporting, administrative support services, tax compliance, training and strategic planning, business process outsourcing, accounting services, management consulting. He does a little bit what you do, Vicky. IT support services, program management, records management, staff augmentation, healthcare solutions, search recruitment. He's expanded his services because we rebranded him with a new icon, with a new everything, to position himself in the government market. He went that path, right? 2 different websites, one for government contracting purposes. If you come to his government tab here, you can look at his capability statement. His capability statement is Delerme Group. If you look at his write-up here, the Delerme Group is a division of Delerme CPA. So he still tells them his legal company is Delerme CPA. We are SBA 8A women or minority-owned business, and so forth, right? So this is really how you position yourself in the government market itself. Is yes, you have a new DBA, but your still legal name is still Delerme CPA. So now, in some situation, you may need to change your brand and your name completely. For him, because he has a long history with clients, and as a CPA firm, he has to disclose that he's a CPA. And so for industry standards, he kept the name CPA, but for contracting purposes, he went with Delerme Group. Does that make sense? AYJ Entertainment, thanks for asking that question. And so I think that helps clarify a little bit. Let me give you one more case study. So this company, as it relates to your website, this company is called Motivate. And if you come to her website, she has been established in the commercial market, and then we reposition her for government contracts. So when you come to her website speaks to two audiences. You can see one, there's a tab that says government, and there's a tab that says corporate. So now government view our capabilities, corporate view our capabilities. So she did it with one website instead of two separate websites. She did it with one website. Her name is neutral. Motivate is a neutral name. It does, it's just a word she made up. It's not motivate like the Motivate. It's Modavate, Davate, right? So it sounds like motivate, but it's motivate with a different phonetically it sounds the same, but spelling wise it's totally different. And so for her, originally she didn't have these two options here, but because she's speaking to government and she's speaking to company, corporate commercial clients, now if you're government, then you click on the government tab, and it takes you to the federal, state, and local as she speaks to them. And then you can download her capability statement and so forth. All right, so that's enough. I think we covered quite a bit about website, about your capability statement, and how you need to reposition your branding. As you have, for some of you who's on live with us, if you have questions about it, ask your question. We could try to address some of it in a little bit here. Now, what I want to do is I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about your capability video and your capability, how to create your capability video. In 2016, a major milestone happened in 2016. People access the internet more so from a cell phone, a smartphone, or a tablet, and less people, the flipping happened to where less people access the internet from a laptop or a desktop. So cell phone is more so how we access the internet now. And so, yes, you can send your capability statement to a contracting officer, but now the real estate is really small, right? Real estate is this size now. It's the size of a cell phone. And so how do you communicate your message better? Well, now you have to think through, I need other marketing tools. And we actually have an agency that says, hey, we prefer a capability video over a capability statement. So in here, we actually talk about how to create your capability video. Now, many of you don't have a capability video. If you don't have one, create one. What I did was I put together we have a partner that provides capability videos. If you go to capability videos itself, you can go and get some help, and they will help you create one. While that's loading up, so that's one way. But let's look at one in here. In fact, I just worked with a young lady, and we just went through her capability video. So I'm gonna pull that up. It's actually a very good one, and so. And let me come in here and pull it up. All right, my internet is a little sluggish, so it might be on my end this time. I want to go back to YouTube. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Let me close some of these things here. I've got a lot of things open, and I want to make sure that some of these things are not taking up bandwidth. So sometimes when you're live, bandwidth becomes an issue. So it looks like it's loading up now. So someone come in here and where is it? Where is their video? Let me see here. So we just went through her capability statement. Let me search it here. Because it's here it is. So this is the new one. So let's look at the new one here. Can you guys hear the audio?
Yeah, nothing's. It's coming up slowly, but I hear the audio.
Okay, all right.
Now I'm not hearing anything. Is it playing?
I think the audio is because of the streaming, it's a little bit sluggish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link, and you guys are welcome to. I'm going to put it in the chat area so that you guys can go, and for those of you who's joining us live, you can actually go and watch it yourself and use that as a example capability video. I also have a write up of the capability video write up. So there's a script right here. I'm going to make this here available to you guys since this is a bonus for joining us live. And I'm going to pull up this script and talk a little bit about it for you. And I'm going to put it in the chat while that is loading up. So this is your bonus.
That's a good video, man. I don't know how she pulled that off. That's the one with her at a podium or something, right?
Yes, she's on the podium. But this is a general script. So, it starts off a little bit of music, a little intro music. Typically, your intro music should be about maybe 3 seconds or less. And then there's a voiceover. And so for this one, we said every agency needs a business partner who understands their missions and needs. This is the heart of why I founded my company name. Now, for this company, this template here, we wanted to take a personal approach. And so we use why I founded my company, ABC, right? If you want to go larger, you might want to say, this is at the heart why ABC Corporation exists to support your agency. So you change the terminology a little bit, and then you go into the introduction, and then, and again, in this one, we took a personal approach. In the sample, the live sample that I gave you here, we took more of a higher, bigger picture approach. And where did it go? So we come down here. You may do many things, right? And then you talk about a few key things that is about your organization. And then you say, now I've gathered these years of experience to start my company. And then you go into your NAICS code. Now, when you talk about your NAICS code, you only mention in the video, only mention the primary NAICS code. Don't talk about 20 other NAICS code that you have, but you do list it, but don't, the voiceover doesn't talk about every single NAICS code. And then you talk about, we have certifications in, whatever certification you have. We specialize in ABC, 3 things. And then if you have GSA schedule, if you have other contracting vehicle, feel free to list other contracting vehicles that you may have. And then talk about your differentiators. Talk about your key differentiators. Talk about your past performances that you have. And then close out with a few things. And then at the very end, leave a few seconds with a call to action. And then about a few seconds where they see your contact information at the very end. So that's really a suggestion of how to create your capability video. But work on it as you guys have time to work on these things here, Vicky and Kenneth. Your higher priority is your website, your capability statement, because those are at the minimal, that's your starting point. Your capability video, your capability brief, your other marketing tools is more secondary. And then we have a few minutes left. I want to talk about your business card quickly. And I just want to, don't want to spend a lot of time on business card. I was kind of joking earlier.
Did we lose him? Is he still there?
He is there. 1 second.
Vicky, this is a lot, right?
It is a lot. I was actually, last week I was a little bit stressed out.
Welcome to the party. I as well.
It's a good learning experience.
The one thing I could say is, I think we have enough information that we're definitely going to be prepared. It's just kind of executing all of the steps. But I got to get past this beginning part right now.
I agree with you.
He's coming back on. So thank you everyone for joining us. Abe, our presenter, is coming back on momentarily. I'm not sure why the connection is thrown off, but for those of us who are joining us, usually it's around this time that Abe takes additional questions. So you're welcome to put them in the chat. So when Abe rejoins, he'll be able to read them. I noticed there's a private chat and comments. So rephrase, put them in comments. Because if you put them in the private chat, everyone can't see them. Abe shared a few links. Was everyone able to copy paste those links? If not, let me put my email in the comments. If you weren't able to copy and paste, you can email me.
I'm back. Hey, technology sometimes is not your friend, but thanks for everybody's patience. When you're when you're live streaming, sometimes the internet demons have their own ideas of different things. So, but Via, you were saying something before I chime back in.
Oh, I was just saying, if folks were not able to copy paste the link to the video and the capability script, I would be happy to send that to them.
Yeah, just reach out to us, and especially if you're watching this live, and some of the internet glitches that we had. If you didn't get access to it, let us know. If you're watching this replay, we should put in the description area. If not, reach out to us, info@govcontractors.org, and we'll be more than happy to get you a copy of the video script, as well as a copy of the capability documents that we talked about earlier. We talked about a few things here, and then I want to show you guys the business card before we wrap up here. And so for your business card, this is an example of what your business card needs to look like. And again, your logo could be anything. Your logo, your UEI number on the front, and then your general contact information. And on the back, you want to include your capability, your NAICS codes on the back here. And then certifications that you have, include the different certifications you have here. And then if you have a GSA schedule, put your GSA schedule here as well. This is your mini capability statement. That's what your business card is. It's a mini capability statement, and that's why you use it like this here. And so this is what you use as a business card when you're out there networking and doing different things. The only thing I would change now is, instead of where I have the logo here, instead of the company name down here, I will probably take the company name, move it up here, small text up here, and I will put a QR code here. And so that's the only change I would do. I will put a QR code in the logo, the icon, and then the QR code here. Because more people, they don't want to type in GovAssociation.org. They just want to scan it. If you're networking, you're out there meeting with people, they just scan the QR code. It takes you directly to either your Blink business card or your online business card, or to your website itself. So there's a few ways of how you do a QR code. They can do it a few ways like that there. So with that, let's open it up for Q&A. For those of you who's joining us, if you have questions, feel free to type in your questions. If you're joining us on for Kenneth and for Vicky, we'll start off with questions for you guys. Do you have any questions related to what we cover, or anything else you want to address for your business?
No, I really appreciate the feedback with the website. I've gone back and forth in my head with others, and so you giving that feedback kind of clarified a number of things. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and in here you have lots of templates of website in here, right? So you got.
So I do have a question, because there is like a.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Vicky.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a event, government event tomorrow. It's I believe once a year, and so I have my capability statement. I do have my business card. Would you recommend attending that?
Yes, it doesn't hurt you. Anytime you have an opportunity to attend an event, you want to attend it. A few documents that you want to take with you is, yes, your business card, and then your capability statement. Those are two documents you normally want to take with you when you're attending a networking event. But there's a lot more in the future session. We're going to talk about how to maximize your time at a networking event or at an industry day or matchmaking session. Because of time, there's a lot of strategies of what to do when you're attending an event. We won't cover it today, but yes, if you have a chance to attend an event and build relationship, always do it. And what? Tell me a little bit more about the event. What type of event it is, and who will be there, and give me more details on that.
The event is actually done by, I believe it's Sad Buck or something like that.
The
And
SAPU.
I had actually had, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had signed up for it a couple weeks ago, hoping that by the time they came, by the time the date came around, I would have the documents ready.
Okay, and
I
it's an
didn't sign
in-person.
up for the matchmaking or portion of it. I just wanted to go and see what it's like.
Perfect. Glad you attended the event, and yes, attend. There's usually for that type of event, when the SADBU puts on an event, sometimes they call it the Small Business Specialist, sometimes they call it the SADBU, sometimes they call it the OSBP, Office of Small Business Program. Different agency have different titles for their people. And when they put on events, sometimes they call it industry days, sometimes they call it matchmaking events. Attend it. And what you want to do is you want to go and meet other potential teaming partners at the event. Look for teaming partners there. Find a few contracting officers that you can connect with, share a little about what you do. It's very rare that you're going to make any meaningful relationships at an event like that. And let me tell you why. The contracting officer that's there, they're going to meet 200-300 people, depending how big the event is. They're not going to remember everybody. The SADBU or the Small Business Specialist, they're going to meet hundreds of people. They're not going to remember you. Your goal is to go there and meet as many possible people as possible, but focus on about a few key people. Focus on maybe one or two small business that you can team with in the future. Focus on one or two contracting officers that's going to be a good match for you. Focus on one or two large primes that you can go and build some meaningful relationship, and then focus on a few maybe other type industry partners, maybe some industry service provider vendors for this industry. And so think through that there, right? We talk about the 6 types of relationship: large company, small business, industry professional vendors that can support you, program managers, contracting officers, and small business specialists. So those are the 6 types of relationship you want to think through. The real winner is in the follow-up. You're going to meet a whole bunch of people. It's how you follow up with them that's going to be the most important, because they met a whole bunch of people there too. They're not going to remember most everybody. You won't remember most everybody. You want to make an impression. And so the way you make an impression is you ask them some important question and you connect with them at a human level. So for example, if you're meeting with another small business and you notice that they wear a Michigan State cap, or they're wearing a sorority color or fraternity color, or they're wearing, we just had the Final Four, and you see they're wearing a Final Four shirt with a little Final Four symbol. Connect with them at a human level. Or if they're wearing green, you say, "Hey, green is my favorite color." Or they're wearing purple. Wow, how did you decide on purple? Because I love the color purple. And talk about it, or compliment them. Hey, I really like your suit here, or love your shoes, or whatever. And then talk about business, but connect with people at the personal level. And so that's really your first event. You just want to connect. You're not going to build any meaningful relationship at the event. Leave an impression, get their information, follow up. That's how you're going to build long-term relationship.
Abe, to that effect, I'm going to chime in with something someone shared with me recently.
Sure.
They're in the government contracting space, and they've gone to a slew of events for the last, let's say, 2 years. So much so, they built a contact list of 850 people.
Mm-hmm.
And when they told me, I was like, hold on, what? And how do you remember this amount of people? And this is someone attending. So I can only imagine on the other side of the contracting officers or the primes, they're meeting even more people because there are more events. And so, with what you just said about making that human connection, that's going to stand out. That's going to separate you from everyone else. There's no way I'm going to remember 850 people, man. Like, it's not going to happen.
That's exactly it. Yes. Okay, so let's take on a few questions. We're about to wrap up the event here. So, are you suggest that paper business cards are best and not an electronic? No. Carmina asked a question. Paper business card is going away of the Rolodex, Carmina, or Sharmina, I think. So yes, it's going away of the dodo bird and of the Rolodex. In probably in another 5 to 10 years, we won't even need business cards anymore. It will be what's called NFC, near field connection, to where your cell phone will already have your contact data in it, and when you go close to somebody, it will automatically you turn on your phone and automatically say, "Do you want to share your business card?" And then you're at an event, right? You already have the app open. Everybody, at some point in the future, we're going to be standardized on 2 or 3 main apps as relates to sharing information. It could be your LinkedIn profile. It could be your business, one of the Blink app or any of the other online app, and you just click share, and then boom, done. Within 2 or 3 feet of somebody, near field technology will allow you to send your information to somebody. So, but the current time, yes, a paper business card is still effective. Your capability statement is still effective. Another way of the QR code is, instead of them going to your website, they scan your QR code on your business card, it goes to your capability statement page. And so that could be another way of how you share information. One more question. Time for one more question. Okay, so who do you speak about starting at the beginning of the process? Can you clarify your question a little bit more, Sharmina? Um, what do you mean by who do you speak about starting at the beginning of the process? Oh, you talking about today's class? Yeah, the video will be available. You can watch the replay on YouTube. You can watch the replay on Facebook, on LinkedIn. You can watch the whole session. But today we talked about your brand. We talked about your logo. We talked about your capability statement, your capability videos. We talked a lot about your branding, and we review Kenneth's logo, his website. We talk about creating a dual brand in the government market, maybe doing a DBA. So we cover a few things today. Okay, with that said, we are at the hour. So thank you so much for joining us. If you like these episodes, we do a podcast every single Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Some of you are in Pacific Coast, some of you are in Central time, but well, we do it every single week, same time, 11:30 Eastern. Check out our YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook channel. It's you can join us live there, or we have a registration as well at GovAssociation.org, and you can register to attend these events. If you're watching this here replay, please remember to like and subscribe and hit on the notification bell, because it's going to give you an alert every time we do this event here. And I want to thank Kenneth and Vicky, who are our entrepreneurs, as we're coaching them and guiding them through their businesses, helping them to get set up. Any final comments or thoughts, Vicky and Kenneth, before we wrap up here?
Keep on keeping on. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. That's all I can say.
Absolutely. Vicky, final thoughts?
Persistent.
Yes.
Stay persistent.
Yeah. Persistence. Yes, it's not for and I say this here, right? This is my quote to everybody. It's not a matter if you win a contract, but a matter when, and you're really just one contract away. So for all of you joining us, Have fun, Vicky, at your event. All of you join us live. Take care, and we will see you in another episode of the When Government Contract podcast. So take care. Have a good one.
Take care, guys.